commandment. What's 25:5:10? Without standing. Believe it or not, some people think I have photographic memory, but
Have the whole Torah portion.
is this like the mucker for Yevamos, the levirate marriage? Because we talked about that in length back in Yehuda and Tamar. Remember that? We had a whole discussion about that.
Right. Yeah, levirate marriage. Yeah, when brothers dwell together,
Oh,
one
okay.
dies.
So we talked about that back in Yehuda and Tamar. I don't know if you were following Lakewood Rav, but we talked about it at length back then. That the levirate marriage is a special thing from Sinai, right? It's a special one of the 613. That if the brother dies and he's childless, it's the responsibility of the family to make sure that the wife of the dead family member has children. It's their obligation to make sure she has children. They can get themselves out of it by doing the chalitza, right? But technically on the books, there's Yevamos, right? That's a halacha Sinai. Torah's talking in Leviticus 20:21.
Yeah, man, it shall take his brother's wife. It is loathsome. That's if the brother's still alive.
It's in any situation other than the levirate marriage. That's all you need to say. Yeah, if the brother was still alive, that would be one thing. Or if they had kids, and you don't need to do Yevamos anymore.
And often it can really damage a relationship between brothers if one brother takes the other brother's wife.
I would think
often
so.
it causes a lot of tension, like at family gatherings, like Pesach.
That would be really awkward.
Rosh Hashanah.
That would be really, really awkward.
Yeah, and it's just not necessary. It's,
Nah.
it's really much better all around if you don't take the spouses of your siblings.
Right. Okay, flip it back to the...
So is he supposed to marry his dead brother's wife or just have sex with her?
Well, married, because
Yeah.
you were allowed to have more than one wife back then. So he could be married and then just take her in as another wife.
Henry VIII was not a Jew, so...
So, I don't
we're
know
not
the
going to say
situation.
it's wrong.
What was the situation of Henry VIII? I don't know.
I think he took his brother's wife.
He took his brother's wife?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He had 8 wives, and one of them was his brother's wife.
No, he had 6 wives.
He had 8. I thought he had 8.
Henry VIII, six wives. 6 wives.
Oh.
He took his brother's wife.
Yeah. But he was a guy. That's what Goyim do.
I don't know if there's a problem for it, but like if he were Jewish, what if Henry were Jewish, right? That would not be good, right? Unless that brother died.
Right.
Was the brother dead?
His older brother died childless. He married his widow, Catherine of Aragon.
No, if his older brother died childless,
Then he did a mitzvah.
Then he did a mitzvah if he were Jewish.
If he were Jewish.
But the problem is King Henry VIII lived after the time of Rabbeinu Gershon, so he'd be screwed.
But he wasn't Ashkenazi. He was Sephardi. If he was Sephardi Jew.
What if King Henry VIII were Sephardi? Now we're thinking, okay, what is...
Is there anything against speaking bad about main characters in the Torah?
Yes, we that's not good. Who said that, by the way? I can't read them.
Dematic.
Yeah, Dematic, yes, a great question. Yeah, we don't... That's a very good question. We don't do that. What if the woman is a lesbian? What does that got to do with it?
Can she date?
Oh, it's just the general if a woman is a lesbian?
Yeah.
Can she date women?
Yeah.
Well, lesbianism is frowned upon. It's forbidden according to Torah.
It's very naughty. Very naughty. Okay, let's keep going. Anything else from last
I just want to make sure we caught everything.
Yeah, we did.
Because this stuff's going to fly off.
I've
Another
got
good
it
question.
all.
Is there anything
I've got it
against
all.
speaking bad about... Yeah, we got that. Besides God.
Or angels.
Okay, we got that. All right, we got everything.
Okay, so anything else from last week?
Yeah, there was just, I want to, remind everybody, near the end of the show last week, Levi quoted some Shrink. And the Shrink had some scientific study, and the scientific study determined that women somehow
have
set less sex drives than men, and I came in and I said, well, my findings from the same kind of anecdotal evidence that this Shrink purports to have says the complete opposite, right? So I said, you know what? Let's get some more data. So I posted on my Facebook and I said, hey, married people, chime in here. And every single married woman, or who had been married, right, piped in and unanimously said that you were wrong, and it's not true, and women actually don't give less blowjobs once they're married, and that's a fallacy, and their drives are just as strong. However, with a caveat, and the caveat is once they have kids, then there's a problem of there tends to be less time for it, which is a completely it's not a question of sex drive. It's a question of there's no time for sex because of the responsibility. Which then again, that's when I pop in and I say, if you were childless, right, what do you got to do? You got to feed the cat. You know, you got to take the dog on a walk, right, and then you can do the whoopee 7 days a week. Thank you very much, and twice on Shabbos. So there you go. Let's hear it for all childless people, huh? Advantage to marrying someone who's childless. Hello? Okay.
King Gaddafi's Jewish.
That's an old Misa from 25 years ago that was debunked. He's got some Jew blood in him somewhere or something, but he's not Jewish. Why?
There's a question from the chat room.
Oh.
Anything else from last week?
Younger women have stronger sex. I don't agree with that.
Sex drives than old women.
Than old women. No. I don't agree with that. That does not. That all the findings are that the women's sex drive peaks at 40. And if she's divorced, I'm going to say it goes up even higher. That's just what I think. All right. That's basically it for last week. Then you wrote this thing. You wanted to talk about these two.
Yeah, what was the happiest moment of your life?
Start with yours. You were the one who brought it up.
Okay, so there was this girl I knew in school, and she was cute, she was busty, and she was Asian, and she was Christian, and she was like really sweet. And when she smiled, her little like yellow Asian eyes just kind of disappeared. Like, you know, cause they just kind of smiled and
Nobody can see that. Nobody can see that because you have the sunglasses on.
And I thought, you know, I could never get with a woman like this. And but you know, time went by. 6 years went by, and we kind of stayed in touch. And I came back to Los Angeles in spring, April '94, and I called her up, and I was staying in her friend's apartment, and she came over, and she was now 24. She was 18 when I knew her.
Okay.
So she wasn't as hot as she was at 18, but she was still pretty hot.
All right.
So we went up to my apartment, and we went out on the porch.
Are we gonna have sex here again?
Chas v'shalom.
No, I mean in the story. Are you taking us down to the bedroom because it's been another 10 minutes? So.
No, I'm almost done.
Okay.
And so as we were talking, I said, I do something really unusual. I turn the conversation to sex.
I can't imagine that.
And she like leans over and kisses me. And like one
Okay.
thing leads to another. And that was the happiest moment of my life. Like I had such abundance right there. It was like, I was just like showered with bounty. And I was just so happy. So that was the happiest moment of my life.
Why was that so happy for you?
Because I'd been longing for this girl for 6 years, like difficult years that I'd like fantasized about this
Wait a minute,
girl.
so let me see if I got this straight. You wrote to me an email and said, hey, Rebs, I want to talk about the happiest moment of our lives. And in the back of your mind was this, you just wanted to talk about this Asian chick.
I want to hear about the happiest moment of your life.
It doesn't involve Asian chicks, I can tell you that much.
Well, Baruch Hashem.
You just wanted to have a chance to talk. So since you're talking about this Asian chick, why didn't you go into it? This is something you really want to talk about.
Well, that was it. That was like the happiest moment of my life.
Do you want another Asian chick? Is that where this is going?
No, there's no agenda here. I'm just sharing.
All right. What's incodence? What does that mean?
Which?
D-Medic uses the word incodence. I never.
Incontinence.
That's not what it says.
Where? Point it out. Oh, like incidents. He meant incidents where they were really in the wrong.
Oh! I said incodence, where they were really in the wrong. Who was really in the wrong?
Major figures of the Torah.
No. There's incidents where they poskin. Well, depends who you consider a major figure. Like Korach was clearly in the wrong, but even he had a Torah svara behind what he was doing. All of them are considered arguments within Torah that are brought out into much bigger problems than they were.
Rabs, if Mila Kunis saw your Facebook page and decided to hunt you down to have sex with you, would you deny her?
Of course.
Of course. We love Hashem.
and I'm not even attracted to her anyway.